Ready to roll. Well, first of all, great to see everybody. Beautiful day here, getting ready for a really good practice for Tampa Bay on Monday night. And with that, I'll leave it up to you guys for the questions.
So your guys' run defense has been really good this year. When you look back at the offseason, was that something you guys talked a lot about trying to improve in?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Spags has always talked about improving the run defense. And really, when we talked about it, it was really from the end of the Super Bowl on. And I thought, as the playoffs progressed last year, we did a good job with that. But we wanted to come out of the gates like that. But really, when you're stopping the run, it takes all 11. And I think guys are buying in. We're tackling well. Guys are playing technique. Whatever Coach Spags calls, the guys are executing it to the best of their ability. And we just got to keep that going.
What's your first impressions and thoughts on Joshua Uche?
Oh, I've studied Josh when he was at Michigan and watched him play at New England, but he's been a good addition that, Brett Veach and his staff and Coach Reed brought to the group. So he's been working hard and doing everything he can, and excited to, have him in the group.
He seemed very excited when we talked to him yesterday about coming to this place where you guys have had so much success. When someone comes in the middle of the season, is that the feeling you get from them, that like this is a special place and they're, maybe you don't want to be traded because you were where you were, but if you come in here, give them a little extra energy?
Well, I would think, I know when I came, I had a little extra energy, but, when you come to a place like this, from our owner to Coach Reed, Brett Veach, Spags, Nags and Coach Tobe, it's an unbelievable environment, and the record speaks for itself. So when you come here, maybe it's a breath of fresh air from where you've been, I don't know, and it's an opportunity with a guy like Pat Mahomes as your quarterback and Spags as your defensive coordinator, whatever it may be. And so I think he's excited to have an opportunity to play with a guy like Chris Jones in the room, Mike Dana, who was his college teammate, and just the room that we have, and obviously playing for Coach Spags.
You mentioned a couple of times Chris Jones, a problem for everyone who they have to try to block him. He maybe doesn't have all the sacks that he might want to have, even though he told us he doesn't care about personal numbers. We know he does a little bit. When you grade him out with your internal grading, how good has he been for you guys this year?
Oh, he's been as disruptive as he's ever been. He's not only playing the pass really well, but he's really physical inside in the run game and taking up 2, sometimes 3 blockers. But he's really having a fantastic year.
How impressed have you been with the depth behind Chris inside, like the Turks and Mike Pennell and that group?
Oh, that whole group. When you look at Turk, where he's come from, he's doing a great job. Mike Pennell, Derek Noddy, Marlon, who we got from Philadelphia. We have a really deep group, and the guys are really working hard. And and Coach Spags wants guys rolling, and when the guys are in there, they're starters. And I've been impressed with the way the guys have been playing.
Joe, Nate, and then we'll do a couple more.
Joe, how much of the week is about you and Chris discussing where he might move in certain matchups to maybe get a one-on-one? And I guess what's it like for you to watch him go through the game and sort of try to find his one-on-ones if he's switching positions right before, the ball is snapped, essentially?
There are certain things, like I said, the chess match, and Coach Spags does a great job, hey, where do you want to put him? What do you want to do? This is where we can put him. So we decide all that. But it's really an opportunity. He has an opportunity to win on certain plays, all 5 spots on the line of scrimmage. And there are certain ones where he's delegated to a spot on the line of scrimmage. So, obvious that's decided as you go through the week, see the opponent that you're playing and maybe who would try to exploit. But it's a weekly deal.
Who does that remind you most of, whether it's someone you've coached previously in your career or just watching other guys throughout the league who have that amount of flexibility, freedom, and obviously some responsibility to it? Well, when you look at it, it's within the scheme, and Coach Spags does, like I said, a great job with that. And Chris is good at defensive player. I know I'm being biased in the league, but that I've coached some good ones, and he has that unique ability to go outside and beat a tackle or stay inside and beat a guard. Not many can do that. You have some ends that can do that, but not many true defensive tackles, can go outside and beat an offensive tackle.
Matt?
What's kind of your role in a timeline when you're making an in-season trade, as far as when Brett may bring up a name and talk to you and you can kind of contribute?
No, I think when you look at it and not necessarily Josh, but other guys. But you might have done them in the past. You might have did them in the off season as you're attacking free agency, so you have a familiarity with the player. But Brett does a great job. He'll go to, if he's looking at a guy, Coach Spags or the position coach, and get your opinion, and he does a great job of that.
Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.